Good morning, everybody. This is Sarah here from Create a Magical Business and Essentially Flowers Training. A quick live stream this morning. Yeah, I know it's Sunday, and yes, I know we need to take a day off, sometimes from the social media. This morning, I'd like to just share with you some of the thoughts that I've actually been having for about a year, and today I had the inspiration to share them with you, and I'd love to know your thoughts. So this is all about how do we allow the flow of inspiration through us versus how do we take care of ourselves and take time off our work and what flows through us? How do we give our energy systems a rest? So as a healer, and I'm assuming that if you're listening to this, you are a healer. You may be somebody who is just naturally knows that the natural world flows through you. Or you may be somebody who's out there more professionally. It doesn't really matter. Or you may be even somebody who doesn't really understand the concept of energy. That's fine too, because we are all the same at the end of the day. So I am a healer. I'm a practitioner in flower essences. I'm a trainer in flower essences. I run a very successful practitioner diploma in flower and vibrational medicine. And I also have my own healing business where I help other healers and energy workers take their gifts out into the world. So I'm pretty busy in my working life. And I've also just relocated to a new country. So it's really important to me as well that I find the boundaries between what I do professionally, my personal life, and what that place is in between. Because again, as healers, we kind of live in both worlds, and when we do what we love, then the boundaries between work and not work can often get a little bit fuzzy or even fizzy. So I'm a sacred money archetype coach, and in that system, my top archetype is actually a nurturer. And one of the key things for nurturers is that we need to keep our boundaries really, really clear. And we need to know who we are and just make sure what we're doing at any time, and make sure that our inner world and outer world are very, very clear within us, so we know our operating fields. So for around a year now, because I engage in spiritual practices every morning, as maybe you do too, and I find that the early hours of the morning I get lots of ideas flowing through me, and I do journal and I do note them down. However, I've also noticed that the days when I don't note them down, when I think to myself, okay, I'll go and do that later. And of course, when I tune in later, the idea has either gone, or the structure, the kind of container is there, but there's no energy left inside it. I don't know what to say. I don't know how to work with it. So maybe you've found this same thing. So what I would like to share with you is my personal way of viewing this, and I'd love to know what yours is. You may know that I work with the lunar cycles and I work with the seasons. I tend not to operate too much between the Monday to Friday, Monday to Sunday. Sundays is a day off. Monday to Friday is working time. 9 to 5 is when we work. I tend not to do work like that because it doesn't sit with the natural world. It just really doesn't really work for me. So I tend to work more with the natural cycles. So my energy naturally will be more uplifted during the summer. I'll be more able to share during the summer. I'm also much more able to share in the waxing phase of the moon. That doesn't mean to say that I can't share in other phases of the moon, but it does mean that my inspiration or my outward energy won't be the same. So you may know or not that we are now in the waxing phase of the moon. Full moon is next Friday. So we are now in that phase of the moon where I always naturally find myself. I can't really help it. It's not something I kind of put in a diary and go, okay, let's share more at this time. I just find that I naturally am more able. So that's maybe part of the reason for today. But it's also, and this is what I love about this, why on a Sunday morning that I felt inspired to share this with you, so that maybe you can start to see the boundaries yourself as to whether you are more somebody that works with the Gregorian calendar of months and days, 1st to the 30th or 31st or whatever the number of days is, or whether you're somebody like me who works much more with the lunar cycles and the seasonal cycles. So as we move into autumn here, and as the autumn equinox approaches, and Friday we had the 999 day, and we're right in the middle of the eclipse season, the final one being this Friday, it's really it's an intense time. So we need to get really clear on how we use our energies. So I've been inspired this morning to share with you how, despite it being a Sunday and despite a part of my head going, have a day off, Sarah, to actually just go with the flow, because I know that if I wait until tomorrow morning, which is Monday, to share this with you, the flow won't be there anymore and I just won't end up sharing it. So I invite you, I'd love to know how this works for you, how you feel about this. Even if you disagree with me, please let me know. Share here. Let's start a discussion about this, because I think it's really, really important that healers work within the natural cycles. And you need to find your place within that. For all of us, it's going to be really different. So I am actually going to honour the Sunday now. There's a lovely market, about a 15-minute drive from where I am. So I need to get going now so I can catch the market. I know that there are people watching, because I can see I can see the numbers changing on the screen, but I haven't seen any comments. So I know my iPhone sometimes doesn't show me those. So my apologies if I hadn't said hello to you. I'm saying hello now, whether you're watching live or whether you're watching via the replay. So have a beautiful Sunday, and remember, check in with yourself. When you receive that download, when you receive that message that comes through you to be shared, in whatever way, it might be just sharing it by writing it in your journal. It might be by going and sharing it with a member of your family. It doesn't have to be work related, or it might be if you have a blog to write or a newsletter to write, do it at that moment if you can. Or capture it on paper, capture it, speak it aloud so that you can actually go back to it and that energy is intact, so you can press the button on the newsletter or do your Facebook live stream or whatever way, or create your posts, or do whatever you need to do in your personal world. So many blessings to you. I'd love to hear what you think. Have a lovely Sunday. Bye bye.